Hey, what's going on, everybody? CW Entertainment back with another MLB The Show 23. We are back with a Los Angeles Angels franchise, and today we're going to be taking on the MLB Draft here in this one and see what bright new young prospects we can bring here into this one. Apologies not getting this video out yesterday. Ran into some like electrical issues, I guess, with my neighborhood, and it just kind of screwed up me potentially getting this video out when I wanted to. But without further ado, we will get to it, and yeah, let's go ahead and hop into this one, everybody, and let's see how this draft goes forward. We're gonna probably sim a little bit of the ways as well, as this should go ahead and start it. Okay, futures game, cool, not worried about that. Well, a pretty good trade is done. The Twins acquire Alexis Diaz for it looks like quite a bit of minor league prospects, potentially. No clue what they kind of look like, but yeah. And okay, well, here goes the draft. So, first year player draft, let's get to it. We just also won another game over the Orioles right before this draft. See how this one goes for us. Yeah, gotta add some prospects to this list too, I guess, huh?
I'm devoted and hated. I recoded the matrix. I just loaded the bases, and you know I'ma make it hit.
All right, we got a draft board set up. Once again, I mentioned it's really not that crazy deep of a draft class, so I'm real curious to see how this one does end up shaping out, like overall wise and all that stuff. Because, like I said, I don't know. We'll see though. Let's hop in here though. Let's not waste any more time. We'll go ahead and start the draft. Looks like the Detroit Tigers own the #1 pick, and the first pick of the 2024 draft is going to be Mark Kerr. He was #1 on our prospect. We didn't really scout him much because we know we didn't have a high pick. So for us, it didn't really make much sense. But starting pitcher, he's going to command $8.2 million. Holy crap. And the #2 pick in the draft. I actually didn't get a look at the draft board, so I'm not even sure who exactly is picking here. It's going to be the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the Pirates have made their selection for an outfielder, Salvador Ortega. It's going to be interesting to see how some of these top of the line guys. We had him 16th, and he goes #2 overall. He was 19th on the big board. The Cincinnati Reds own the 3rd pick here in this draft. That's going to do it for the animations. Chad Venezuela, 4th on the big board. He was 3rd on our board. A starting pitcher. He's going to come in $7.6 million. Has high potential. And the division are making picks. Eric Crowell. Looks like a starting pitcher is joining. The #2 ranked on our draft board. #3 in the majors. And he's going to the Rangers. Come on, man. Alfonso Ortiz, our #1 guy, and Alfonso Sixto. Actually, Alfonso Sixto was #1. Alfonso Ortiz we did have scouted. Wow, surprised he went that high. We have him 131 on our big board, and he was draft ranked 24. But Alfonso Sixto, our #1 prospect, is gone, and he's going into the division with the Houston Astros. Not what we want to see there at all. He was more of a contact hitter than a power guy for first baseman, so not the end of the world, but yeah, don't like seeing our guys go. And Salvador Camacho, he was a guy we had on the board. We scouted him out pretty well. Looks like he's going to end up going to the New York Yankees, as we are now on the clock. But honestly, I don't know, his numbers didn't, like, I guess, extremely speak out to me. But right now, we got a couple options. Outfield is kind of where we are lacking a little bit. Kind of in the farm, because we got kind of guys that are much older. Trout, Taylor Ward, everybody's in their 30s. So right now, #1 guy on our board is Albert Benitez. Solid, looks like he's going to have decent power, good arm out there in the outfield. Could have, potential solid speed. Vision and discipline kind of seem like that's going to suck. He is a switch hitter too, 6'5". So he could have potentially solid contact as well. So, I don't know. Draft rank for us, this is exactly pretty much where he would be going. MLB think it might be a reach though, so I don't know what's the best way to go about it. Then we got Rick Whitman, who's a very solid contact hitter. He's 5'9", and he's a lefty batter. But there's a good chance we can probably get him with our 2nd pick, potentially. Solid fielder as well. Doesn't have the power that Albert has, but I don't know. They can kind of, they kind of go hand in hand with one another. So I think we stick to our board once again. Rick Whitman, these guys, these teams reach anyway, so you never know who might be there, but I think we'll stick with Albert and we'll go from there. So Albert Benitez, hopefully he turns out to be a very good prospect for us, and he can play everywhere in the outfield, so hopefully it all works out. Well, apparently I didn't realize our next pick wasn't until, like, I guess a compensatory round, so yeah. So far off the board, looks like we did lose Rick Whitman. Looks like he's also going into the division as well. So, not liking seeing that. Some of the guys, we had on our board is also going into the division. So, yeah, like I said, solid contact guy. Hopefully, hopefully we didn't make the wrong choice there. But, yeah, losing the guy to the Rangers. Not liking that. Next up, we're picking here at 65. The next couple of guys we got up here, we got a couple of infielders, Felipe Negron and then Orlando Zapata. Now, Felipe out of Dominican Republic, he's a righty, he's 5'11", he's looks like a very solid contact guy. Looks like power could actually get there potentially. That's pretty solid. If he can get that, if he can meet his potential power, that's enough to be able to send that thing over the wall. Enough. Vision's gonna looks like it's gonna be on a slider inside. Discipline looks like it could be pretty solid. Building is there. Arm strength and accuracy is not likely what we want to see. On speed, maybe reaction is going to be pretty solid as well. Don't know if this is more of a reach though. And then we have Orlando Zapata, and right now I'm thinking second baseman. So I'm thinking Felipe might be more the guy we go with. I know we have Rafael Devers, but Felipe can also play first base if we need to, especially with Drury, getting up there in age too. So. Then we go with Felipe, and then I think kind of worry about the rest of the guys later. We could also go Richie Mesa. Mesa's he's a starting pitcher, but I don't know if he'll be there by the time we pick again. I don't know when our next pick is. It's not till 101. Likely Mesa's going to be gone, and I imagine most of these guys are by the time we come around again. So then we're going to go Felipe, and hopefully this ends up working out for us. Take a look actually we only got 45. I didn't even realize we didn't even have that much scout on him, but hopefully it ends up working out for us. And as expected, a lot of our big board has pretty much been cut down to size. We've had a starting pitcher on here, William C, ends up going to the Milwaukee Brewers. So he was going to be a solid pitcher, right-hander, 6'3", so interesting to see how he ends up turning out. Richie Mesa, he ends up going to the Cincinnati Reds, so we're not going to be able to get everybody that we had on our list, especially these guys. We had a lot of guys in that mid-roundish range, so we also had Demetrius Tierney. Looks like he's going to end up with the Royals, so yeah, right now, like I said, it's not if I could trade back, boy, I definitely would have, that definitely would be more of my move for this one. And we got Orlando Zapata. You can see he's down at the bottom. He ended up with the Padres, so yeah, man, we got pretty gutted here throughout these middle rounds. That leaves Felipe, Chasson, and Julio Fernandez on our board left. Felipe, I think this is probably going to end up being our guy to go with right here. He's also a first baseman. He's interesting. He's one of the guys that was it's real interesting. He's draft rank 101. We got him projected at 100, so it's falling right in line. I don't know. It's interesting because his potential is lower than what his overall is. So if he ever meets his full potential, then I imagine potential-wise it goes out the door. Like it doesn't. It ends up not mattering at all. So we're gonna go with Felipe. Hopefully, Fernandez will still be there by the time we come back around. But Fernandez is gone by the time we get to round 4, and he literally just ends up in with the Giants, unfortunately. And now we got to figure out what we're gonna do for the rest of this draft. Yeah, it took a minute to find some guys, but we do add a few pitchers to our thing, so we'll see if we can go at some of these guys. But Craig Kerr is who we'll be taking. Solid stamina. Looks like he's just going to be, he's kind of meh, Looks like kind of low 90s fastball and change-up slider, splitter curve. I don't know if this is exactly what he's going to end up having. I really don't know. Apparently he's not ranked. Draft rank is 111, so we're kind of getting him a little bit later than what he was expected to go. So, yeah, we'll go with Craig Kerr. And actually, scratch that. We're just going to go Paul Gonzalez. Another guy. We got a relief pitcher on here. And his pitch velocity is very, very intriguing to me. And I think we're going to actually take this route instead. Because I think Craig can still be there. So, yeah, Paul Gonzalez, welcome to the squad. Our whole list just got literally absolutely shredded yet again. We have to go through and try and find some more people. At this point, we're just kind of grasping the straws here. We're just kind of, we don't have really any of these people scouted. Drew Buchanan is going to be the next guy we ended up taking as a catcher. We kind of need a catcher to find anyway, so we can take a look at his stats. Catcher-wise, there really wasn't much around. Potential-wise, he lives up to it. It's actually going to be pretty decent. Nothing crazy. It's below average stats pretty much all the way around the board. But, yeah, nothing, like I said, nothing too crazy. We're not expecting much out of these guys down here. Chris Wheeler was another guy we were looking at. Could have been another relief pitcher we could have thought about. And I guess what I believe our final pick, we'll go with Steven Franco. But he's going to have, pretty solid strikeout guy, maybe pretty decent. I mean, I'm kind of surprised he kind of failed this far. He's not ranked, projected 128. So, we didn't get a lot of scouting in with some of these guys here at the back end, but his potential is lower than what his projected overall is, and that could also be why. So maybe his overall is going to take a dip after everything, but that is going to do it for the first year player draft. We do come away with some intriguing prospects, but there are definitely this was definitely a weak class, man. I'm excited to see what that draft class is going to look like. We can't sign the picks just yet, but take a look at the all-star voting, I guess, here before we start sending some more. We got Mike Trout and Shohei going to be starters here in this one. And pitching wise, looks like we don't have anybody that's going to end up making it. Shohei's probably going to fall a little bit short there. And looks like no relievers as well. And nobody for our closer. Oh, oops, excuse me. Yeah, nobody for our closer. Puck came in third, but he's not going to make it. And just so we have a look at it, we do have some guys in the home run derby. We have both Mike Trout and Brandon Drury. Trout with the 1 seed, leads the league in home runs with 32. Brandon Drury sitting there with 26. Let us see it, boys. We're not going to end up playing that, though. We're going to send it. We ended up sweeping the Baltimore Orioles in this one. We got all this stuff popping up, sweet cheese. Man, we got some guys in the AAA. Oh, my goodness, dude. Okay, today's the day to sign draft picks. Cool, yeah. We're going to stop simulating now. But, yeah, I ended up winning sweeping the Orioles. Took care of business there. I don't know if it shows who. All-Star goes to the AL, so we ended up getting the job done. I guess we can take a look to see. I guess it doesn't let us look at anything further to see how we did, but yeah, okay. Yeah, let's look and see signing about these draft picks. Of course, main priority is always going to be the guy we drafted first, and he has the least interest anyway, so we're gonna have to find a way to work on him. Is it that I think they gotta be above 50%. I think I should have did something, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and offer the contract for Felipe Negron, and he ends up signing with us, no problem. Let us see if Felipe being nice and easy. Go ahead and offer the contract to Chessin, another Felipe on the squad, and he is going to take it no problem as well. Let us see it. Yeah, I believe they do have to be above 50% before we can sign these guys. So, yeah, I guess we'll get back to advancing, and then we're trying to find a way to sign these guys a little bit later down the line again. And we're still trying to find a way to see if we can offer these guys a contract. I don't know how long we had to sign these guys. Looks like it ends in 12 days. That is not good. We are in jeopardy of losing these guys. Drew Buchanan is a guy that's looks like he's ready to sign, so yeah, we can go ahead and get him signed. So we're not gonna lose out on him. Just these last couple of guys, man. Looks like we might end up losing out. Benitez, I think we're gonna end up pretty much getting right in time with him, because he's slowly but surely getting there. And that's not what I want to see. Shohei's got a little bit of a back strain, but looks like he should end up fine at the end of the day. And oh boy, we just lost 3 or 4 to the Rangers. That is not a good sign, and that brings the Mariners right back into contention. They're only 2.5 games back now. Now we can finally offer a contract. I don't like that thing's got to be over 50. That's kind of whack, but whatever. And he's declining. Oh, that's not a good sign. And Jose Suarez, another guy, end up with some injury issues as we end up sweeping the Arizona Diamondbacks. 3.5 game lead over the Mariners as we get back to trying to sign pretty much these last couple guys. I mean, man, goodness, man, they're gonna make this one close. I don't think we're gonna be able to keep Steven Franco. He's just not going to get his interest up quick enough. And well, we do get our first round pick signed. This time he decided to accept. They had to give a little bit more than what he was asking for. I'm not a fan of the whole, they got to be 50%. I mean, I understand it, but like, I'm just not the biggest fan of that one at all. But yeah, looks like we are going to end up losing out on a potential pick. Looks like he's going to get plus 5% interest now, just randomly. Like, come on now. Well, I guess we're going to have one last little swing to see if we can get these guys here as we're about to head to the final part. It's trade deadline day too. I don't think we're going to make any moves though. We really don't have anybody like we're looking to move on or really that interested in. Like, we got some guys on the trade block, but right now I think we're pretty set for what our roster is going to be. Also, well, I guess we'll take a look here. Why not? We'll see what's around there. Because yes, we could use a catcher, but look at Danny Jansen. I mean, he's batting 154. Like, that is not best on the block if you ask me. We are going to participate here. We're actually going to probably try and get rid of some contracts that are expiring, and Aaron Loop is one of them. He's got an $8.5 million contract. He's 36 years old. I mean, he's doing nothing for us. He's nothing but declining anyway. Solid career here in the majors, but nothing right now doing. He's in AAA. We optioned him down there, I guess, a couple videos ago. And Gary Puckett, he's a guy that could bring some potential here. He's a third baseman. He can also play first or second. Likely we might switch him over to first base just because we might have a little log jam down there at third base, especially since we just drafted another third baseman. We drafted one at the season prior as well. Also had Devers. But yeah, this guy looks like, he looks like he might be a solid power hitter potentially. Good. But right now, his biggest asset right now is his speed at the moment. So 6'5", moving it, 6'7" speed on the game isn't too bad either. So yeah, why not? He's 19. Why not? We'll see if we can ditch the contract and that get us back in the black. The budget, you guys can see, is just pretty much terrible. Although that budget's gonna get a little bit better as the season goes. Well, as the next off season comes back. So like we weren't gonna always be in the negatives. Mainly because we got that big Nola contract, and we also got Ohtani on the books. Got Devers now, so yeah. But yeah, we're gonna try and potentially get rid of some of the guys that who are up for extensions. Drury, we're not getting rid of Drury, but we got some guys on here that we know that's not possibly playing too much. So yeah. Next day we're gonna send out Justin Foscue. Foscue does not really play at all for us. He's only been in 6 games this year. Honestly, he could probably go somewhere that could possibly potentially maybe allow him to play a little bit more. Because for us, we have Zach Neto and LeVon Soto who kind of interchange playing as shortstop and second base. And Foscue just he just doesn't have any burn for us. Luis Toribio though. So first baseman, he's got solid potential. Everything's going up on him right now, and 62 overalls going up, beat potential. There's a lefty batter at that, so can't go wrong. With an additional first baseman here. Honestly, our first base, we're not deep at all. We did just draft somebody, but I mean, Drury, he's 31 and going to be going 32. Jerry Walsh is 30. Ken Lamb is an older guy. I mean, these guys aren't anybody that's special. These two guys we just drafted just to bring on. So yeah, Toribio, we'll go ahead and make that deal for him. And honestly, trade wise, I think that might do it. We do have a couple other guys here, but we're not getting rid of Drury. Herget, he's having a very good year despite his stats kind of going up and down on different places. His ERA of 2.33 with a WHIP of 1.01. I mean, he's doing fairly solid so far this year in 34 games. We're not getting rid of Joe Jimenez. He's been honestly doing better than Herget. Got an ERA of 0.4. I mean, he's absolutely dealing. Then we got some guys that they're not taking up too much space for us either. I mean, they're AAA and stuff like that. So Drury's the only guy that is actually kind of taking up some space. It's kind of surprising to see some of the stats that kind of starting to decline. He might be hitting a little cold spell. They're batting 237 now, but yeah, I think that's gonna do it for that part. Let's continue. We're done with trade deadline day. Let's continue to sim, and oh boy, we gotta fix our lineups. All right, got our stuff set. Suarez is no longer injured, which is a good thing. And it looks like this is our last time to sign our draft picks here, and we're gonna have to see if we can find a way to get Steven Franco or Paul Gonzalez to sign on the dotted line. We're gonna offer a little bit more than what Franco was asking for, and he declined. So yeah, that's fine. F you. Go on somewhere. Paul Gonzalez, we'll probably try and give you a little bit more than what you're asking for as well. And he has decided to sign, so cool, we'll take it. The last guy in our class didn't want to sign, that's on him. He can go be a free agent somewhere and go bum off somebody else. We're not worried about it. Once again, we're getting another injury. This time it's going to be Rafael Devers. Once again, not liking seeing these guys get injured, but I mean, if it's just bruises, not too bad. And Aaron Nola is back to the lineup. And that's nice to have. Getting healthy. I'm not exactly sure where Nola left off, pretty much where, how good or well he was doing, but hey, we'll take it. He'll end up, go ahead and move Suarez, get him right back in the action and whatnot. But Nola, he looks like he's kind of doing a little bit better as the season went along. 3.2 ERA. I know he was kind of struggling. Oh, Tyler Anderson's not in the lineup. Suarez is who kind of snuck in and this point. Yeah, I think we'll move Anderson to 5th. We'll move everybody up a little bit, but. Yeah, actually, no, we're moving back. We'll leave him at 3. He's got ERA 2.2 now. He's doing his thing. But, yeah, these starting pitchers, boy, they're out here absolutely dealing. And, honestly, I'm sure you guys want to see what Kai Busch is doing. He's getting them numbers down, though, baby, y'all. He is getting them down. That ERA is now below 7. I mean, from where he started, it was fairly high. But he's starting to He's starting to pitch better and better, so that's what we like to see. Still got to get that whip down, though, boy. That whip is ridiculously too high. But his numbers are still going up, which is positive. Unfortunately, that stamina is coming down a little bit. I honestly don't know what to do about that, but hopefully we end up getting that figured out. Still trying to figure out. We got contract extension stuff to do. We're not going to be probably re-signing Nola. Drury, on the other hand, I just don't know. He's not necessarily, I guess, interested in the deal that we have offered for him. And I guess he wants a long-term deal and a 6-year deal for a 31-year-old. I just don't think that's going to be the smartest option, to be honest. We'll see. That I think we let Drury walk, and we'll end up figuring things out in free agency. Because right now, we don't have the most cap space. But one thing we do have, we have the opportunity to view our draft picks, and like I said, it wasn't the greatest class in the world, but we'll end up seeing, pretty much how these things ended up turning out for us. So hopefully it's not too bad, as we'll see what our first round pick is, and it ain't looking too hot here off the rip. Potential of a 75 for Al Benitez. He's going to come in there with a 59 overall. Felipe Negron, 65 overall with a potential of 71. 67 for Felipe Chessin. I mean, that's crazy. Our first round pick was a 59 overall, and the next two guys are much better. And then Felipe's a lot higher than, but I believe Felipe's potential wasn't that high either. Yeah, his potential is a D, so doesn't have really much, like, I guess, potential growth potentially, but hey, maybe he can turn things around, get better. You start hitting him down in those minors, you can maybe figure some things out. Paul Gonzalez looks like, he's going to be see potential out of the pen. I don't expect him to, he doesn't have to get too high anyway to actually be able to be something in the majors. And then Drew I don't know why I keep trying to call him Bachman. We got a guy named Bachman, but Drew Buchanan, 50 overall. He's the guy we ended up taking a shot in the dark on, and we'll see. But hopefully Benitez turns out to be something. It looks like he's gonna have solid power coming in off the rip, though. So I do like seeing that. Also gonna have solid durability as well, but doesn't have the best speed in the world. But hopefully, when he gets down here, he can turn out to be somebody. But I mean, Negron and Chassin, like they don't look too bad, especially. The potential is a little iffy. We didn't draft anybody that had great potential at all. But so we can take a look around. Let's see where, maybe the highest guys were. Well, man, it looks like there was a closing pitcher that had a 96 potential. Matthew Ullman ended up going to the Braves. First A potential guy we've pretty much seen. Orlando Zapata was one of the guys we were interested in looking at. He's got a C potential. A very good contact coming in. Very good plate vision as well. Solid. Looks like decent fielding off the bat. Not too bad, not too bad. 73 potential, but I mean, I don't know, a bunch of guys, man. Like I said, it wasn't anything crazy here in this one, so I guess we keep flipping on through and seeing what we're looking at. Julio Fernandez was another guy that we were interested in. Ended up going to the Giants. He was a catcher. Very good contact. I really disappointed we weren't able to find a way to snag him. We just, what was it, like 2-3 picks away from being able to get him. It's unfortunate, man. They took our guy, but he looks like he might be one of the better guys, even though his potential is considered pretty low. We found our next A guy, and looks like it's with the Orioles. Another one looks like right here with the Boston Red Sox, a relief pitcher at that. But I'm flipping through this, you guys, and I'm not seeing a lot of good just talent around here. Ozzy Cabrera, that's another. I think right now I've only seen like 3 A potentials. Larry Kapadik. Wow, he's coming in with really good power off the rip. I don't know, I probably didn't scout a lot of guys that were at that top of the class just because there was no point for me to even look at those guys to really give them, much acknowledgement. Oh, Mark Kerr. Woo. 75 overall off the rip. I believe this was the number 1 pick of the draft. Doesn't have much to his pitch repertoire, though. A running fastball, changeup, and a 12-6 curve. 98 potential, though, so maybe they got a gem there. And then we got Hank Lewis, whose scouter potential is 85-90, but his potential, that one doesn't make much sense at all. Well, it looks like the Royals did not find common ground with Demetrius Tierney. He was a guy that ended up there, but I guess they couldn't sign him. So I got some guys that are kind of lingering out. I don't know what happens to them. I don't know if they just go to free agency or what. Alfonso Sixto, this is our guy that we were looking to draft, and he was our number 1 guy on our board. Very solid contact hitter. Not much power to his bat. And looks like a solid fielder as well. But, yeah, I mean, once again, meh. When you draft in the back end, it's going to be kind of a lot of meh anyway. But Yeah, it was a that's a lot of meh. Rick Whitman was another guy we were interested in. He's with the Rangers. Another solid high contact guy too. Solid fielder as well. Not much showing for the power side, but that could possibly get developed pretty solid as well too, I imagine. The last guy we were kind of looking at was Richie Mesa. 78 potential, so he's a C. Two-seamer changeup and a splitter. Let's say low 90s, high 80s, kind of on his speed pitches. So once again, yeah, just not a lot there. It looks like it's kind of like maybe some solid 80s, but there was no like, this guy looks like he's gonna be like the big generational talent guy. I mean, Mark Kerr, I guess, might be the guy, but even then, his numbers aren't gonna be. He doesn't have really the pitch repertoire that just scares you. Maybe it ends up working out. I don't know, but yeah, that was a weak draft class if you ask me. And well, we gotta look at our guys, and hopefully, they find a way to work their way up and contribute for us. I mean, I'm not gonna complain about a terrible class. Hey, I won't say terrible, but a weaker class, they happen. I mean, regardless of sport. But next time out, you guys, I think we're going to get into a game versus the Phillies. That looks like a solid game to end up picking on. So let's go ahead and sim through. Devers is back from injury. And now Ohtani goes down. Good grief, what is going on with you guys, man? Good. My goodness. That's a big series right there we just had with the Mariners. Took 2 or 3. Ends up putting us 6 games above 500. But yeah, we're going to hop into the Phillies. And Kai Busch is actually in the starting rotation. Hold the phone. Because Ohtani is out, I think they threw Kai Busch in there. And they did. It's going to be Kai Busch's starting debut. Oh, let's get it, yeah. We're taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, the very first game of the series. He's going to be going up against Ranger Suarez, a 3.23 ERA guy. He's 8-6 on the year. Kai Busch will make his MLB starting pitching debut in the next episode. Let's get it. You guys, I want to say thank you all very much for watching the video. If y'all enjoyed it, make sure you guys hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts if we made making the correct picks. I mean, once again, pretty weak class, but hopefully, it ends up working out for us in the long run. But if you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with this Los Angeles Angels franchise and more that we'll be doing here on the channel. We got Diamond Dynasty streams going as well. You guys go ahead and check that out. It's me and my friend Kyle. We're on it with it. Right now, just kind of, for the most part, kind of grinding away at that, trying to get some good cards. Ended up pulling, I believe, Mickey Mantle, and ended up trading, not trading, but selling him off. So got quite a bit of stubs, and just trying to figure out, who I might want. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. I appreciate the support. Thank you all for watching. I'm out till next time, everybody. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Next time out, we'll be taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. I know normally we kind of do a minor league lookup, so actually, on Wednesday it will be a minor league. We might try and maybe it might be a double up. I don't know. We'll see. But once again, I'm out till next time, everybody. Hope you guys stay safe out there. Catch you guys in the next one. God bless and peace. Close it out, Future.
And it's the love from my fans got me still here.